And hi again, everyone. This is Talkin Jaspers Baseball. I am Mark Day, play-by-play voice of your Manhattan University Jaspers baseball team with the head coach. Wow.
Great to be
It's
here,
Steve Rosen.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I appreciate that a ton. We're so pumped to get going. I can't wait to get started working with these guys.
What sounds stranger, head coach Steve Rosen or Manhattan University?
I'm going to say Manhattan University right now.
It's going to take a lot of getting used to.
It's been an awesome 2 years here. I know there's a ton of tradition that goes with Manhattan College, and we're never going to lose that sense of tradition, but I think for moving forward, Manhattan University is great representation of where we want to go as a college, or as a university, I should say, and where we want to go as a baseball program.
Well, the Jaspers nickname isn't going anywhere, thankfully. And you're not going anywhere, which is great. So very happy that you got the promotion. The coaching staff, the rest of the coaching staff remains intact.
It does. So Coach Scott Wingo will be returning as our hitting coach. It's tremendous to have a former College World Series MVP on your coaching staff and somebody who actually just recently threw in the Major League Baseball home run derby.
Yeah, that was cool.
When you talk about somebody who can really develop hitters, really throw some high-quality BP, and also have a championship pedigree like Coach Wingo, you just can't ask for so much more than that. So we're thrilled to have Coach Wingo back. Coach Steven Englert will be returning for his third season at Manhattan as well, coming off a fresh Cape Cod Championship League win
awesome.
in Harwich. So when it comes to developing baseball players, I don't think there's anybody in the business better than Coach Englert, and we're thrilled to have him back. And then, of course, my right-hand man for the last 2 years, even when he was our ace pitcher on the mound, is Coach Will Hesslink, and we're thrilled to have him back in the pitching coach role this year.
All right, how does your life change moving from pitching coach to head coach?
It's definitely going to be different. I'll definitely continue to provide a voice and a message on the pitching side of things, but I'll also working to do the same thing on the offensive side of things. I'm really confident in the offensive system that we're going to install here at Manhattan. I'm really excited to work with Coach Wingo and lean on our experiences, having worked for some really tremendous head coaches and offensive minds. So we're excited to really hit the ground running on the offensive side of things. And again, we're excited to continue to keep the ball rolling on the mound. We've really developed into one of the top pitching staffs in the MAC in the last 2 years, and a large part of that is, again, due to the resources that we're lucky enough to lean on here and sort of great coaches that we've been blessed to work with. And so we're excited to sort of provide that message on both sides of the field this year. And like I said, we just can't wait to get to work with these guys.
Now, along those lines, I don't know how much detail you can get into in terms of who's coming back, who you're bringing in, but give us whatever detail you can.
Yeah, so we're going to have a lot of new faces this year. It's a lot of good turnover, a lot of guys who are being rewarded for the work they've done over the last few years. And like I said, a lot of new faces. It'll probably be about half and half when you look at the roster with returners coming back and newcomers coming in. But we're thrilled about the group of transfers that we do have coming in and the group of freshmen that we do have coming in, as well as the group of guys who decided to come back. I think it's going to be a great mix of veteran leadership, a lot of gritty attitudes, a lot of toughness, a good mix of youthful energy with some veteran leadership. So we're just thrilled about what that group can ultimately come together and be.
And as much as you don't want to look back on what's happened and look toward the future instead, there was a sense going into last season of unfinished business.
Absolutely.
Given the way things ended in 2023, how much of that unfinished business, even with all the new faces, carries over into 2025?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely important to not talk about the past too much, but at the same time learn from your mistakes or learn from things that you've experienced. And so I think that we're going to have a conscious effort in our program to not talk about the past too much, while at the same time as coaching staff really, again, lean on the experiences that we've had and try to improve in the areas where we can. And so when you really reflect on the last 2 years and look at the work that we've put in and the success or the failures that we've had, it creates a lot of opportunity for improvement. And we're really excited about that. And when you look at that opportunity to improve with the opportunity that you're mentioning, sort of that unfinished business, it creates a really cool thing that our guys can go out and accomplish. So it's all going to start with winning one day at a time, learning what it takes to have daily habits that result in winning one day. And we're going to take it from there and see where we end up.
First weekend of the season can't get here soon enough, right? No, we can't talk in great detail about the schedule next season, but maybe we can tell everybody that we will have for 2025 a dedicated home field.
We will. We'll be playing our home games at Clover Stadium. We're really excited to get up to Pomona and really get to work over there. It was a little challenging last year having some moving logistics, but we're excited to put that behind us and get back settled at Clover. Obviously, it's always nice to have a field that you can call your home. We've made a lot of improvements to our facilities here on campus and off campus at Manhattan that have really allowed us to sort of move into a permanent home here while still working through eventually finding a long-term home field for ourselves. So we're really excited about the last 2 years of work and the progress we've made as a program, sort of that Manhattan project that we've been putting out on social media for the last 2 years. And like I said, we're really excited about continuing the Manhattan project and now what the future holds with sort of a new staff here and some new faces in our program.
We're going to keep this short and sweet, just giving everybody a little taste of what's to come with Jaspers baseball under the new head coach, Steve Rosen. What's been so far the best part for you about becoming the head coach?
I think working first with the coaching staff. When you have tremendous coaches around you, going to work every day is really fun. And we have some really tremendous coaches here at Manhattan. I can't thank Coach Englert enough for the relationship that him and I have built together. Our relationship together started with me as a pitching coach for Coach Englert in Harwich. And I can't tell you how fortunate and blessed I feel to now have him back sort of as my bench coach. I like to tell people Coach Englert is sort of like our Joe Torre. Joe Torre built the legacy Yankees that we all remember growing up as a kid in New York City in the 90s. And in my opinion, what Coach Englert brings to our program is such a similar comparison to what Joe Torre brought to the Yankees. He's our baseball lifer who's on the staff with us, who understands every part of the game, has coached over 200 big leaguers. And for me to have him back on our staff is one of the things that I've been enjoying the most because of the relationship him and I have built together.
Just make sure he doesn't have to sit in the dugout with a Zimmer helmet on to protect himself.
But really, when you get the opportunity to work for people like Coach Englert and work for people like Coach Jason Jackson at Alabama, who I've had an opportunity to work with, and Coach Chuck Rostano at the United States Navy Academy, and Coach Greg Frady, and so many other different people that have come into my life through this coaching profession, you really start to realize that it's about those relationships. Those relationships amongst the coaching staff trickle into ultimately how the players end up developing and how the players end up creating relationships with those coaches. So I feel really great about the coaching staff that we have here at Manhattan and their commitment towards player development. I feel at the mid-major level, there's not a coaching staff out there that's developing guys the way like we are here at Manhattan. And again, that's a testament to our tremendous coaches we have on staff, Coach Englert, Coach Wingo, and Coach Hessling. So just so excited to get to work with those guys.
All right, last couple of things before we wrap things up. When you got the job, when you were promoted a couple of months ago, you were the youngest Division I head men's baseball coach in the country. You have since been surpassed by a guy who I think is maybe 3 months younger than you are. How's it feel to be all of a sudden an old man at this business?
It's a little crazy how everything came together, but at the end of the day, this whole thing, it's always about the players. So it always will be about the players. It will always be about developing the players. It's not about us coaches. It's about our ability to get information to those players and ultimately develop them in a way where they're moving on and continuing their hopeful professional baseball career. So as fun as it is to hear those things, sometimes we know as a coaching staff that it's always going to be about the players, and at this program at Manhattan Baseball, it's always going to be about player development, and that's what we're so big on here.
Just to expand on that, what's going to make you a good head coach?
I think the ability to create relationships with the players and maintain a standard and set a sort of discipline while also having a positive relationship with these guys. I want them to know that they're always able to come into my office and speak freely to me about anything that can be going on in life. At the same time, there is a level of the relationship that is not a friendship. It requires a level of respect, and it takes our coaching staff setting a certain structure and a certain discipline and a certain standard that we need to reach as a program every day.
What's the last thing you want as we leave today? We're going to do these obviously again in the future, but what's the last thing today that you want everybody to know?
I want everybody to know our program is just going to be about winning one day at a time. I want our players to understand the message of what it requires to go home at night, look yourself in the mirror, and understand you either did or didn't win that day. I want our coaching staff to really implement a strong positive message that teaches our group what daily winning habits are, and I want our guys to buy into those daily winning habits. And I think if we can put all of our energy, all of our focus, and all of our toughness on those daily habits, I think come February 14th, we're going to be exactly where we want to be. But I know it starts with those daily habits.
The countdown is on. Let's
The
get it.
countdown is on.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the new head baseball coach at Manhattan University, Steve Rosen. I'm Mark Day. We've been talking Jaspers baseball. We'll see you soon. Take care.